from the beginning. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Hindu news analysis for the day. Let's begin by just having a glance on the important topics from today's newspaper. The first one is proposed criminal codes give more immunity to defense personnel. See, we have the proposed criminal codes, the IPC, CRPC and the Evidence Act have been in news constantly since there have been amendment bills introduced by the Home Minister in the last Parliament session. So every day we are getting new things. So this becomes important to know what the new changes are suggested in the bills. The second one is grave error in law. This one article is related to the right to marry for the couples, LGBTQ couples. The third one is the price of persistent federal frictions. So India as a federal country, there have been frictions between the states and between center and states. So we need to know what the price of this constant friction that we have been seeing over the past few years could result into. The next topic is greenhouse gases, which is a topic from environment and ecology. The next topic, Gaza war. So we have been reading about the Gaza war, the Israel and Hamas conflict for the past 1 month or so. So this article encapsulates what has been the past history of the present conflict and also what could be the implications for India in the larger global context. The next topic is Edinburgh to Kozhikode, UNESCO City of Literature. So we have been talking about this UNESCO Creative Cities Network. So this article relates to that, and we'll see what the article says. The next article is the Nobel in Economics as a need to course correct. So this article largely relates to how the female perspectives have been missed in the larger economic debates, and we'll see how the present Nobel award in the economics given to the laureate can help us build the narrative and help us balance the narrative. The next one is life over death. This one article relates to again the proposed changes that we have been discussing in the criminal justice system, and we'll see. And the last one is most backward of the scheduled tribes. Yesterday, Prime Minister Modi came up with few schemes for those people. We'll see. Let's begin. The first one is proposed criminal code gives more immunity to defense personnel. So we all know that defense personnel have certain immunities when it comes to their official responsibility. So since the bill had been recommended to the parliamentary committee, and they have been scrutinizing the bill and suggesting measures that the government could introduce to make the bills and the amendments more refined. So the first thing that we know is that we have known other things in the past, like the use of information technology, and there have been other things like what we call registration of FIRs, and this one specifically relates to the defense personnel. So this is the change. Earlier, the defense personnel were not arrested for any act done in their official capacities, but now the amendment proposes that not even the case, the FIR can be registered against these personals. So this particular point becomes important in the light of the earlier news that we have seen, the Nagaland issue, where a few security personnels involved they were accused of killing the mining personals because of mistaken identity, and even the Nagaland police registered a case against them. But since the earlier laws permitted to register the case, but they were supposed to seek the permission from the union government and the state government to prosecute these charges. But now the proposed bill suggests that only not only the charge sheet and arrest conditions, but also for the registration of FIR, the prior permission from the union and the state government is needed. So this is what this article is all about. We'll see the next article. A grave error in the law. So this article is related to the recent judgment given by the Supreme Court that the persons, the same-sex couples do not have a right to marry under the Special Marriage Act. So the writer here tries to identify that the court has given and has not given the appropriate judgment when it comes to scrutinize the law. The reason behind not giving these rights is, as given by the court, is that the court cannot either strike down the constitutional validity of Special Marriage Act or read words into special marriage because of its institutional limitations. So, but we have seen in the past that court has time and again come up with the guidelines, and the basic purpose of the constitutional court is to read between the lines and read into the law. Earlier, we have seen that court has issued the guidelines in Vishakha judgment case to come up with the protection of women employees at the workplace from sexual harassment. And most recently, we have seen that court has also issued the guidelines to the central government when it comes to making the sanitary napkins available to all the teenage girls across the nation. So it is not right to say when Supreme Court itself goes against the previous held ideas that they can read between the lines and they can read into the laws and make recommendations for the betterment of the laws. So this article is all about those things, which this article is good when we try to make the mains answers, and when it comes to the power of the constitutional courts and how they have been performing over the years, how they have helped the constitutional law evolve, we can use this information there. Next, we'll see the price of persistent federal frictions. So, as a federal country like India, we have seen that there have been frictions between the state and the center, and among states also. Earlier, we used to talk about the concept of cooperative federalism. It led to competitive federalism. But in present times, we are seeing that the states are moving. There have been certain discord between the union and the states when they come up with the similar kind of policies for the marginalized section, or we'll see that at times for the medical benefits or the pension schemes, multiple states have been coming with their own ideas, and we also see that the union government is also coming up with the similar policies at the pan nation level. So what could be the reasons? The first basic primary reason that there has been discord is there has been a homogenization of the social sector policies. The second one is the regulatory bodies that have been largely functioning under the union government have been making recommendations or suggestions for the improvement on state level policies, which in turn tries to tune the state level policies as according to the national policies. Second thing is that all states have their own master plans, and there has been a master plan at the pan nation level also. States need to tweak their policies to be in line with the national master plan. So this article talks about all those issues, and the major implication of such discord is the duplication of policies or the parallel policies that we see. We have the pension schemes, we have schemes in the health sector, we have schemes for the food grains that we provide to the marginalized sections. So yes, there have been issues, and the best way forward that we can see is more of the cooperation and collaboration between states and as well as union and the states. So collaboration is the best way forward. We also, this article also mentions one particular thing about Article 258A. What is Article 258A? Article 258A basically empowers the governor of a state with the consent of the government of India, to give the powers of the state executive to the union executive when there has been a need, and this can be done unconditionally and conditionally. So whenever you read this Article 258 and prepare with the perspective of prelims examination, just keep an eye on that with the consent of Government of India, not the Parliament or the President. or even the state legislature. Though governor is supposed to function with the aid and advice, so this indirectly relates to the same thing. Article 258 is of importance. Let's see the next article.
So why is it very important this news?
This particular news is talking about how the states are, instead of collaborating with each other, instead of having the collaboration with the union, they are under the impression that they have been superimposed by the policies framed by the national government. So this is creating a discord, and the share of revenues is also one of the issue. So this article is basically trying to get our attention back that to take the nation forward economically and socially, there has to be collaboration, cooperation among the states and between the center and the states also. That is the most important idea behind this article. Next one is greenhouse gases hit record high in 2022. So let's see what this question has been asked previously in the prelims examination. The greenhouse gases, the contribution of the gases, and I guess they have asked which gas stays in the atmosphere for the longest time, if I can recall it correctly. We see that these are the most pollutant greenhouse gases: CO2, methane, and nitrous oxide. Methane is CH4 and nitrous oxide is N2O. So these three are the most gases which contribute to the greenhouse effect. And what are the sources for such greenhouse gases? Carbon dioxide, we know. Burning of the fossil fuels, coal. Methane. From where do we get most of the methane emissions? Methane emissions are largely from natural gas productions, landfills, and agriculture sector. And where do we get most from this nitrous oxide? Landfills and agriculture sector, yes. Nitrous oxide is mostly from the fertilizers and industrial processes and also from the agriculture. So when it comes to their trapping capacity, that nitrous oxide traps most, and who stays longer in the atmosphere? Which one of the gases stays longer in the atmosphere? Now CO2, if we consider CO2 to stay in the atmosphere for 100 years, suppose, methane is going to stay for only 28 years, and nitrous oxide is going to stay approximately 250 years in the atmosphere. Second thing that we need to know from this article is this greenhouse gas bulletin published by UN World Meteorological Organization, right? Next one is, as Gaza war rages, waiting for another shoe to drop. So what is this? another shoe to drop. This is a metaphorical statement which says that there is going to be something more extraordinary which will grab our attention. So this article majorly tries to tell us the history and minute intricacies of what has been happening in the Middle East between Israel and Gaza over the years, in past 30-35 years or so. But what we need to take out from this article is the implications for India. Now that we are seeing three major issues, global scenarios at present. One is the US-China issue, second one is Russia-Ukraine war, and this one, the third one, Israel and Hamas, which is going to create an issue for India, because when we see we have the largest intelligence sharing and defense ties with USA also. And Russia and Israel are our biggest, we have biggest defense ties with these two countries. They have been defense suppliers for us. And what could be the implications for India because of the ongoing situation between Israel and Hamas, that there will be a rise in oil prices which can lead to the inflation in domestic food supplies and other things. Second one is the issue of current account deficit. Third one is inflation, we have already talked. The third is the threat to the Indian diaspora that is staying in the Middle Eastern countries. We also know about that India, what was that? India, Middle East and Eastern Europe. India, Middle East and Eastern Europe corridor, that is also going to bear the brunt of the present ongoing crisis. So this article basically conveys the idea that India needs to tread the waters very carefully, balancing the national security interest and geopolitical ambitions carefully. Given that USA is still present after so many years, after the failure of at various levels, it still emerges out to be the biggest peace negotiator in the region. We can use this article when the question is posed in Indian context. We can use the elements from this article. This one is a very beautiful article, Edinburgh to Kozhikode. The article relates to recently given what we say, that Creative Cities Network, UNESCO has recently added 3 cities . In Creative Cities Network. So one of them is Kozhikode. What are the other 2 cities? It was recently in news, last week. We have covered this topic also in our DTRS program and in our the Hindu classes also. Okay, get back to those classes and refresh your memory. I am not going to tell the other 2 names as of now. Okay? Let's talk about Creative Cities Network then. So the Creative Cities Network was initiated by UNESCO in 2004. The basic idea behind coming up with the Creative Cities Network is to exchange the best practices among different cities, and to have a cooperation and collaboration to come up with innovative solutions. Kozhikode in India has been named City of Literature. Now, why Kozhikode has been named as a City of Literature? Because of its various contributions, the people from this region, eminent personalities that have emerged out of this city. Because of such reasons, that city has been accorded the title of City of Literature. And the title, Edinburgh to Kozhikode. Edinburgh was the first city to be awarded with such a title. This one, Creative City list with Creative City of Literature. Yes, City of Literature. And Kozhikode is the first Indian city to receive such accord. We also, it would be great if you know that Creative Cities Network has got 7 different categories. One of them is music, literature, we know. Interestingly, the other one, third one is gastronomy, music. Okay, we have written the music. So there are in total of 7 different categories: crafts, design, filming. The next article is the Nobel in Economics as a need to course correct. So this is an article with a perspective that tells us that the field of economy has been lacking the insight and intellects of the female laureates, or this can be because of 2 different reasons. One is the way we approach the subject and the way the subject has evolved and came up with the new findings and studies. In both the scenarios, the female contribution has been neglected over the years. But recently, the economist Claudia Goldin has been awarded a Nobel Prize in Economics, and the writer basically tries to bring our focus that there has been biasness in the literature of the subject of economics, that the statistical models, the empirical results have all been in are not realistic at present times. They are not encapsulating the present day scenarios holistically. So she basically tries to convey the message that there has to be certain modifications in the theory, certain real life scenarios new theories shall be made by encapsulating the new scenarios, the evolved scenarios of the present times, which can reflect better about the female contribution in the workforce or the economics or in other fields also. This article is important for GS1 paper perspective, where the society and the contribution of the woman can be, and we can also use this article in essay writing, how the narratives and the perspectives have changed over the years and what still needs to be done. This article, Life Over Death. Abolition of death penalty should form the core of any reform in justice. So we have been talking about criminal justice reforms and how the 3 bills introduced is trying to reform the criminal justice system. But as we see that from the parliamentary committee there have been recommendation. The parliamentary committee recently said that the central government should take a call whether to retain or abolish the capital punishment. So there have been around the globe, many nations have abolished the capital punishment. There have been calls from Indian people also, Indian civil service organizations and other researchers, other scholars, to abolish the capital punishment. And the basic reason that they have given is, the most prominent reason is that the capital punishment has not been able to deter the crimes. According to them, the life imprisonment could be a much better way for reforms, and a much better way if you want to punish the said criminal or the person which is at odds with the law. But since the social scientists have demonstrated through various research papers that capital punishment has not been able to have a deterrent effect which was at the earlier times. So second one is that life imprisonment will also provide the scope to reform for the criminals. Because we have been talking about reformative justice, not the retribution. And the third point that they have come up is, most of the people who are at death sentence row are from the underprivileged backgrounds. So it also makes sense that if you give them a chance to reform instead of giving them the capital punishment, we can see a positive improvement. So this article basically tries to convey the message that capital punishment should be abolished from the new statutes if they are passed, or they have been or if they are passed from the parliament. So the next article is Prime Minister launches the mission for the most backwards of the scheduled castes, and we have seen a PYQ on similar lines, PVTGs. We have seen the PYQ. Because of that, the political environment, the election poll environment that is going on, he came up with he launched various schemes for PVTGs, and I guess we already know that PVTGs in India are spread across 17 states and UTs. Try to know their name, what all states are there, right? And how many PVTGs are there as of now? 75, 65, 75. ठीक है. So next topic. Okay, we are done with the important topics for the day. Let's get to the questions then. Okay, the first question is, with reference to PVTGs, consider the following statements. They are mostly homogeneous with a small population. Second one is 65 PVT. Second one is incorrect. It's 75. Homogeneous, small population, yes, correct. They are very much confined to small areas and they have their own culture. The third statement is, in 2006, the government of India renamed the PTGs as PVTGs. The third statement is correct. So, the right answer would be only 2, B. So, it's also important to know that PVTGs or the PTGs, as they were known earlier, they were recommended by Debar Commission in 1973, and since 1973 till 2006, until the name was changed to PVTGs, they have been a separate category or the least developed categories among the scheduled tribes. So hence the government also comes up with different policies and schemes for the upliftment or the betterment of such tribal groups. Okay, next question. It's a match the following kind of question. Nobel laureates and the associated fields. Right. The first one is Nargis Mohammadi. We know he has been given a Peace Award, Nobel Peace Prize. Claudia Goldin, literature, no. We have just seen she was given in the field of economics. Louis Bruce, chemistry, yes. This one is right. So only one option is correct. So the answer would be only one pair. Let's try to discuss the mains question. Removing capital punishment from the statute book and introducing a rational and universal remission policy will be a substantive reform in the justice system. Discuss the statement in the light of Indian criminal justice system. So we need to discuss the statement. First, we talk about the criminal justice system that we have, the IPC, CRPC and the Evidence Act enacted during the colonial times. CRPC has been amended once, multiple times, and we need to mold our answer in such a way that we talk more about the reformative justice. Rational and universal remission policy. We have just talked about the three basic facts that why the capital punishment shall be abolished. We just discussed. First one is scope for reforming. And the so-called persons who were at odds with the law can be assimilated with the society once again. after the reform. Second one was that capital punishment has not been a deterrent for the heinous crimes. And third one that we have discussed was that most of the people on capital punishment at present come from the marginalized sections. So it also presents a stark picture that people should be provided more avenues for skill development, education, and other sources of livelihood, so that they don't they do not commit such heinous crimes. Right? So thank you for today. Until we meet next, stay focused, read well, and good luck. Thank you.